In the previous video, I demonstrated how to use FileZilla and also use Visual Studio Code all together. So in some environments, you may not be able to use that option. Then is there any other alternative option? Yes, even in school computers, I think WinSCP must be installed already. So suppose you do not have WinSP, then you must start with installing WinSP. So let me go to official site WinSCP, and let me click here. And then WinSCP website is winsp.net, and I want to download the most recent version. So let's see where I can download it. So do not download from the top links. It's not actual download. So actually you should download from here. Download WinSP 5.17. So let me click this. Okay, do not click anything else. It's all advertisements. Okay, so if you just wait a few minutes, it will automatically start to download, as you can see here, right? So save as this WinSCP in your local folder. And it's very, very light software, so it will be downloaded in a second. And then let me just open it directly to install. So let me just install for all users, and then I will allow, and then it's gonna install. So I will just accept, and just follow typical installation. So I will just click next, and the commander install. So everything is just default setting. So the WinSP is very convenient tool, but one drawback is, first of all, Mac users cannot use it because it's Windows-based software. And the second, you cannot modify editor if you use WinSP. So let me just show you how to use this. Okay, we have successfully installed, and there is now WinSCP programs even on the desktop. So let me just open it. The interface itself is very similar to FileZilla. So first it will ask login information. We are going to use secure FTP. Host name is the same, so var hala sourcevalue.edu. Port number is already given here, 22. Username, I will use my username and the password. And if I log in, let's see. Similar to FileZilla, if it's the first time, it will give you some warning message, and you can just click yes and continue. Okay, so after you log in, you can see two windows. The left side is your computer. So the C directory is shown here. On the right side is actual Valhalla server. So by opening two computers at the same time, we can transfer some local file to the remote server and from remote to local. Let's look at on the right side, and on the server, when you log in, by default you must be in your home directory. Your home directory means under Linux server system, under root, under home, your username. So this is your current location. Double check whether you are in your home directory. And then to run any programs, actually you cannot just save any file in your home directory. First job is you must create a new directory inside your home. So right click, new, and click directory. And you must create a new folder named public, listen carefully, public underbar HTML. Do not make any typo, it is very important. And everything is case sensitive, so all lowercase, public underbar HTML, no other space. Then click OK. Okay, so this is called the web root folder, because to run any web application, any code must be under this public HTML directory. So now to enter this directory, let's double click it. So on top, make sure it's under home, your username, and the public HTML folder. Inside public HTML folder, actually, we can save HTML page or PHP page, many other program, codes. But since we are going to create so many different pages, it may be a good idea to organize using some subdirectory. So we are going to make a subdirectory for each topic. Suppose you are doing do some coding for topic 1, then under public HTML we will create another directory, subdirectory, and then we will name it as uppercase M4T1. Okay, so it indicates module for topic 1. Okay, now M4T1, double click it, then we can enter this directory. Now on top, double check home, your name, public HTML, now M4T1 subdirectory. So this would be the workplace for the coding of topic 1. So in topic 1, as just a sample, I want to create very short HTML page. So inside this directory, let's try to create a file. Right click, new. This time it's not directory, but I want to create a file. So let's create a file. And then let's name it as test.html. So the file extension is .html. So let's click OK. And if you create a new file, by default, WinSP has its embedded editor. So it's a little bit different from FileZilla. And you don't have to install a separate editor, and either just open this editor. So you can type your HTML page directly here. But it's not color coded, so it's not very powerful editing tool. That's another reason why I recommend to use FileZilla with Visual Studio Code instead of WinSP. But anyway, since it has its embedded editor, in terms of setting, it's more convenient. You don't have to worry about separate editor. So here, let's type just HTML, and then let's close HTML. And as just a very simple example, we wanna add body, and let's say we wanna add the body here, and then let's add one paragraph. Let me use some indentation. So P, and we wanna close this P tag, and let's say here my first, how about paragraph. That's it. So that's very simple web page. So let's save it, and we can close it. So we just created a new web page inside the M4T1 directory. How to then connect this mytest.html? So from your web browser, you can access this file. So in any place when internet is available, if you have a correct URL address, you can always open your web page. So the web page you are opening is server is HTTPS, and Valhalla Salisbury.edu is the server name, and then slash, and then it's not PHP myadmin. We are accessing this web page saved in home directory, so web root directory. So first we need to access this user's web root directory. So after this server address, you use tilde. Tilde means wave sign, and then type username. You have to type your username. In my case, I type my username. So far, if you type this URL address, this URL address is matched with the actual physical location of in your server that is public HTML. So let me just move one more step up. This public HTML is matched with this URL address. But inside the public HTML, what we have? M4T1. So remember, this is what? Public HTML. And public HTML has M4T1. So this URL address is matched with your subdirectory. And inside this subdirectory, what we have? My test.html. So we can type my test.html. And if you open it, it will open this first web page, my first paragraph you just have programmed. So in this video, I demonstrated how to use WinSCP as your development environment. So it's up to you whether you use WinSCP or FileZilla and Visual Studio together. Personally, I recommend you use FileZilla and Visual Studio, so it may be more convenient. Thank you for watching.